It's me, Miss Renee again from the Boys and Girls Club at Harlan. I'm excited today to talk to you about families. And I want you to understand and really get this, that all families look different. And just because your family might not look like your friend's family, that doesn't mean that your family is any less important or any less valuable, because the ingredients to a family are all the same no matter how we look. The three ingredients to a family are respect, love, and caring. And once you throw those in, your family is your family as long as it has those things in it. And what does your family look like? Some families look like a mom and dad. Some of you all might have families where it's just your mom or a dad or your grandma or a special person, or your family might just be friends. But your family is your family, and your family is important, and your family is valuable. I've chosen a really good book today, and I hope you all are excited to read it with me and listen, because I personally love this book. It's called My Blended Family, and it is by Claudia Harrington. So I'm going to read this to you, and while I'm reading it to you, I want you to think about what your role in your family is, what makes your family special, and how does your family help each other and care for one another, because we all have roles in our family that we do. For instance, in my family, I take the dogs out in the morning. That's one of my roles before I go to work. I take my dogs out. My son, Gavin, he takes the dogs out at 3 o'clock. My other son, Tristan, he takes our dogs out at about 6 o'clock. So you might be thinking, well, I don't really do anything valuable, or I don't do anything that's so important for my family. But everything that you do to help your family blesses your family. Cleaning up your room is a role that you play in your family. Some of you might wash your dishes. That helps your family. Some of you might just even pick up your dirty clothes and put them in the hamper for your mom or your special person or your dad to put in the washer. That is helping your family. And in this book, My Blended Family, we're going to learn more about how everyone has a role in their family, and everybody's role is important, and everybody's role makes the family work together and prosper, and that makes every family important. So, My Family, My Blended Family by Claudia Harrington. "Here, Lenny," said Miss Fish, handing him the camera. "Olivia is Student of the Week." "Hi," they both said. Click. "Why is there a flag in your crown?" asked Lenny. Olivia smiled. "So I can be a princess and president. Plus, I love costumes." "Cool," said Lenny. "How do you get home?" "We have to wait for my sisters." "Eve," said Olivia. A 3rd and 4th grader bounded over, squeezing Olivia. "Olivia, sandwich!" They all cracked up. Lenny raised his camera. "And my brothers, Toby and Sam." 2 older boys dribbled in. "Any more?" asked Lenny. Olivia grinned. "That's all." Click. "Lead the way, President Princess," said Sam. When they slowed, Lenny froze. "You live in the haunted house?" Click. Eve and Tiffany elbowed each other as Olivia pulled Lenny through the creaky door. "It's not haunted," said Olivia. "We just needed something big. Nora agreed to leave the shutters until after Halloween." Lenny shivered. "Who's Nora?" "My stepmom," said Olivia. Lenny's stomach rumbled. "Who gets your snack?" "We all do," said Olivia. "Watch." Then she turned around and yelled, "Snacks!" Olivia passed plates while Toby flung granola bars. Eve juggled oranges, Tiffany filled waters, and Sam sliced apples. Click! "Is it always like a circus?" asked Lenny. Olivia found a clown nose when they sat at the table. "Usually." "Who helps with your homework?" asked Lenny. "Eve or Tiffany," Olivia said. They both had Mrs. Fish. "Woo!" they heard from under the table. Lenny swallowed. "Who scares away the ghosts?" Olivia lifted a tablecloth. "No ghosts, just sisters." Lenny's cheeks flushed. "Nora usually tickles them away," Olivia grinned as her stepmom sneaked in. 2, 4, 6. When did we get a new one? Olivia's dad joked as he started spaghetti. Everybody laughed. Click. Meet my dad and stepmom, said Olivia. Nora, Dad, this is Lenny. Hi, they said. Homework done? Just choosing Halloween costumes tonight, said Olivia, pulling Lenny along. I'm going to be a robot, said Lenny over his shoulder. When they got to the attic, Lenny's jaw dropped. Wow, who got you all these costumes? When Dad married Nora, I got siblings and all their costumes. How do you decide? Asked Lenny. Olivia laughed. I can be them all. She chose Munster gloves, an owl cape, and a NASA cap. Click. Olivia ran to a trunk in the corner of the room. Want bat wings for your robot? She asked excitedly. Awesome, said Lenny. A bell clanged, startling Lenny. What was that? He asked. Olivia grinned. Dad's dinner bell. As they sat, rolls flew overhead. Click. Is dinner time always so crazy? Asked Lenny. Olivia grinned. You should see taco night. After dinner, Olivia showed Lenny her room. We girls get upstairs. Click. If Nora and Dad have a baby, we get it with us. Lenny gulped. Where would it sleep? Olivia smiled. There's always room for one more. Who reads you a story? Asked Lenny. Nora and Dad take turns, said Olivia as they brought books in. Outside the door, the stairs creaked. Lenny froze. Was that a ghost? Boo, said Lenny's mom, poking her head in. Woo, said Lenny. Who loves you best? Lenny asked Olivia. Us, said the grown-ups. Click. No way, said Eve. It's me. And me, added Tiffany. Two brother heads poked in, making buzzer sounds. Wrong answer. It's us. Click. And me, said Lenny's mom, kissing his head. And this is the student of the week, and every time I said click, I wasn't just being a little crazy. That was him taking pictures of Olivia, so you can see all of her pictures in her house and her family. Tomorrow, Bat Robot, said Olivia. Tomorrow, Munster astronaut, Lenny waved. In My Blended Family, we learned about how every family member has a unique family role. Olivia passed the plates at dinner. Toby flung granola bars. Tiffany filled waters. Sam sliced apples. And Nora and Dad always read Olivia a story. So I want to show you a family contribution chart. And if you have extra time at lunch and you can draw right now, you can make out your own. But I'm going to show you what my family does and how we each contribute and are valuable to our family and have a role. And you may play a different role in your family, but your role is just as valuable. So here's my family contribution chart. Colin is my husband, and he washes dishes and he cooks. My name is Renee. I do laundry, and I cook, and I walk the dogs before I come into work at the Boys and Girls Club. My son Gavin, he walks and feeds the dogs, and he has to take the trash out. That's a pretty stinky job, ain't it? Tristan, he has to walk and he has to feed the dogs as well. So that's how we contribute in our family. And so I want you to maybe think about what you do in your family and the role that you play and what that looks like. And you might be thinking right now, well, Miss Renee, my family doesn't even look like Olivia's blended family. Well, you know, your family is just as awesome. So we're going to talk about a few different ways that families look, but they are still just as valuable because remember, we talked about this earlier. Every family shares the three main ingredients of a family, and those ingredients are respect, love, and caring. So no matter what your family looks like on the outside, on the inside, as long as everyone has respect and they love and they care for each other, guess what? You have a family, and every family is pretty awesome no matter what it looks like. So here is my single mom. Some of you might just have a mom, but guess what? Your family is very valuable, and your family is loved, and your family is full of respect, and your family is worthy, even if you just have a mom. Here's my single dad. You still are a family if you have just a dad taking care of you. You are worthy and you are valuable. This is one that I want to stop and talk about for a minute because this is my adopted family. Some of you that come to the club, you might know Mrs. Melanie. Mrs. Melanie has an adopted family. That means that she specially got to choose her kids, and they are so valuable and they are so worthy to her, and that is her adopted family. And that's so amazing that you can come together and be put together like that perfectly for each other. And this is my family that I want to talk to you about. I have a special needs family, and what that means is my son Gavin, if you remember, who has to take the trash out, which is a stinky job, he is autistic, which means he has special needs. But that doesn't mean that my family is any less just because my son might have a disability. So some of you all might be in a family where you have a special needs brother or sister. You could have a family member, or your special person could be special needs. But your family is still valuable and your family is still worthy. What I want us to get really for today, our thought that we need to focus on and what we need to learn and what we need to grow on, and what I really want you all to hold on to throughout your entire lives. Because remember, Smart Moves just isn't for your youth right now. Smart Moves is to empower you through adulthood. And I want you to really understand that no matter what your family looks like, your family is important and your family is valuable and your family is worthy, and you should never let anyone make you feel less than just because your family doesn't look like a typical family. That it doesn't matter if grandma is raising you, or grandpa, or your mom, or your dad, or you have a mom and dad, or you have a blended family like Olivia with a dad and a stepmom and lots of bonus brothers and sisters, that your family is still important and your family is valuable. And I want you to think about your roles and what you play in your family. And also, if you saw me with my contribution chart and you thought to yourself, I don't do anything to help out in my family, I want you to maybe think of ways and write on your chart ways that you could help your family. We talked about it at the beginning. Could you pick your laundry up and put it in a hamper? Could you pick up your toys? Could you maybe wash the dishes? Or maybe a small thing that you could do that would be very important is maybe just go and put your dishes in the sink after you get done eating. Whatever you do for your family and the role you play, you are valuable and your role is needed. Until next time, this is Mrs. Renee from the Boys and Girls Club. See you later.